We're back, baby.
I love the shades, bro.
You know why
I love the shades. I love the shirt.
I knew Carolina was going to be on here, and I wanted to wear like
a pig.
Bright. Well, it's a pig shirt. I'm a pig
shirt. I love that.
I wanted to wear it bright, but I'm not going to wear them all the time. It was a bright shirt.
But no. I think it looks cool, bro.
I'll wear them now. How you been?
I've been good. I just came back from Colombia.
Fresh.
You know, we opened a new office over there.
I'm excited, bro.
I'm on like 3 hours of sleep.
Oh my God.
I got my ass kicked this morning in pickleball. I wasn't expecting that, but...
you got off the plane and went to the gym.
I got off the... Yeah.
Was it a Biofit morning?
It was a Biofit morning. We're going to talk about that because I've had my own experience with some of the services that are provided.
Yes.
So today we have a guest that this is the first time we're meeting her. And it's actually our first fitness guest.
That's right. She's here to change my life.
Yeah. So everybody welcome Carolina to the show. Welcome.
Hi, Carolina.
Thank you.
How are you? Welcome.
Good.
It's been a long time coming, you know,
Yes.
like 3 or 4 weeks.
We've had her on schedule.
I told her that I couldn't make it last week. She was going to stay with you. She goes, no, I want to be with you. So here we are.
Here we are.
Wow.
So, Caro, for those people who do not know you,
Okay.
explain your name and what is it that you do?
Hello. My name is Carolina. I am the owner and founder of Biofit. And basically, I provide weight loss services in person and online. Semaglutide, Ozempic.
And you've been doing this for how long?
15 years with other medications, 15 years in weight loss, but just a couple, 2-3 years with the injections.
Okay, so I think I'm going to go right into it.
Is that why I'm on the show today? Because I might...
Absolutely not.
Is she laughing too hard?
Absolutely not.
Because I might need the services?
No.
I just want to be sure.
No, so personally, I mean, a lot of people struggle with weight loss. You know, I think I'm technically considered obese, you know, even at my height and weight. Like, I am.
Obese,
I swear to
I'm
you.
dead, right?
I'm 230, 235 at 6 feet. You know, that's considered obese. But there's been a huge wave of these new medications and new injectables. It's been, maybe the last 3 years. I want you to kind of tell us how the industry has shifted over to this and how it's actually been a product that is very, very, very effective for people.
Okay. So essentially, the reason why we got into this medication is because these medications wind up transforming and changing their purpose over time. The medication was originally created for diabetics and for pre-diabetics, but then they started realizing that the side effect was this incredible weight loss. So it was repurposed for weight loss. This has happened over the course of many medications like finasteride, for example, is a prostate medication, but now they use it for hair growth in men's
That's true.
clinics when it's actually really, really good for the prostate, for example, but really the side effect was remarketed for the effect, which is now for hair growth.
Yeah.
So the same thing happened here, and I can list other drugs that has happened to. So they're like, okay.
Like Viagra.
Like Viagra, exactly. It was originally for the heart.
Yep.
And they made billions of dollars for...
Gives you an erection.
Yeah, exactly. The side effect was repurposed for its primary effect.
That's incredible. Okay. For those people who don't know, I know that there's 2 top tier, I guess, injectables right now.
Correct.
Which is Ozempic and tirzepatide.
So it's tricky, and I understand why it's tricky. So they started marketing the brand name, which is Ozempic, right? But the active ingredient, the ingredient that is the brand name, is called semaglutide, and that comes in 2 different concentrations. So the first one is Ozempic at 1 milligram, which is the weaker dose, and then the stronger one is Wegovy, which is around 2.5. So you have 2 forms of semaglutide, the weaker and the stronger.
So what would you say are like the biggest differences between Ozempic and tirzepatide?
So tirzepatide is, again, the compound, the organic compound for Mounjaro and for Zepbound. So you're either going to hear the organic name, the actual name of the compound, which is semaglutide or tirzepatide, or you're going to hear the brand names, which is Ozempic, Wegovy, and then Mounjaro. So the difference is the strength, really. Tirzepatide is typically a little bit more effective. You wind up maybe losing 20% of your overall body weight versus semaglutide is 15 to 20% of your overall body weight. But it's still recommended to start with the semaglutide first. It's fantastic. So you might as well, ease your way into the medication before going stronger.
Yeah.
What's the process like? What's the time reference on like, okay, I have this weight, I want to lose this much weight. What does it take to like maybe lose 20 to 30 pounds? What's a good healthy time?
Yes, that Okay, so typically, medically speaking, rapid weight loss is considered 1 to 2 pounds a week, just to kind of have a realistic expectation of what the body should be burning.
What's a normal pace?
That would be
2 months?
that would actually be sort of rapid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, medically speaking, that's rapid
Even
because
for someone my size who has more weight than a normal person.
even for someone your size that has your weight, because the idea is to have a realistic understanding and expectation of how the body works. If you're losing weight too quickly, let's say you're losing, for example, 5 or 8, or in some cases I've even seen maybe 9 or 10 pounds in 1 week, that's not fat.
It's water weight.
That's water weight or inflammation or something that's going on in the body that's reducing rapidly. And you don't necessarily want to go by that. You want to go by your overall sort of rate of loss to be able to see how your own like metabolic rate of loss is, and every person is different.
What about people say that they use muscle mass or you have Ozempic Face or
Correct.
what is that about and why is that?
Okay, I can get specific. All right.
I see a lot of Ozempic Face out there.
Okay.
Not in everybody, but some of the actors that have been famous for that, they look pretty
They look
jacked
yeah.
up, yeah.
So the thing is that the way this molecule works, it kind of goes to different aspects and areas of the body. Okay, so one of the things that this medication does is it's an incredible hunger suppressant. I mean, you just do not care about eating, and you just forget. So what winds up happening is that patient over time emaciates themselves, and they go from eating, as an example, 10 pizzas a day down to 2. So what happens is they're becoming emaciated. They're not eating the proper foods, if they're eating food correctly at all.
Yeah.
And they get this crazy hollowed out effect because, it's pretty ghostly looking because they're not eating enough protein, not eating enough food, period.
But
so that doesn't work.
Sorry, do people usually, can you get like that, can you lose weight that rapidly and then eat a little bit and get back to your normal routine and kind of like get back to normal?
The idea is to understand that there is no magic pill, no magic drug, no magic anything. The idea is to understand that you need to eat a high protein diet to begin with the assistance of medication to get you to your goal in a healthy way. Otherwise, you're just going to be eating away at your muscle mass and just emaciating yourself and get skinnier.
You gotta follow the steps.
And then what happens is that when the patient gets off the medication, they experience their hunger again and they go exactly right back to square one, eat all the food again that they were eating before, and they gain it all back. The only way to make sure that the weight stays off is to use the assistance of the drug to be able to train yourself to eat the correct foods that you're supposed to anyway, so that way when you're off the medication, you continue to eat a high protein diet and you maintain your weight.
But some people are just going to put it all on the shot and say, I'm not going to do anything that's probably going to do everything, and that's the right way to do
I
it.
think that probably it still helps, no? Even if you don't work out, you still lose weight.
You still lose weight, absolutely. And again, what I absolutely love about this drug is the mechanism of action that it has on the dopamine pathways of the brain. So it's the reward system of the brain. There's 2 categories of patients that take this drug. The patients that are just taking the medication, they're experiencing the hunger, the anti-hunger effects. They lose a bunch of weight. They keep doubling up on the medication because they become tolerant, and they lose a bunch of weight. Or the second category of patient is the patient that's actually using the fact to train their brain to become used to eating the correct foods because of the interaction of the reward pathways of the mind. And it's like, okay, this is bad, and it trains the brain, hey, this is not good. This is good, and it trains the brain, this is good. It's very, very interesting how successful patients are when you teach a patient, when you coach a patient on how to eat. They stay on the wagon, and they don't fall off because of the part of the interaction of the brain.
Do it the right way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, going beyond that, Miami has a very, I think, healthy fitness culture. Like, people want to look good. They want to feel good. I don't see this anywhere else in the world. I mean, I think here it's like, we're known for like, wanting to be something maybe we're not yet, like fake it till you make it type of approach.
Yeah.
When you have people going to your clinics, right, to see you, do you see like majority, men or women, or kind of like, tell me a little bit about how, what are their overall goals? I know they want to lose weight, but is it like, people who want to go on OnlyFans, or like what is their overall
I
goal?
knew it, bro. Her silly expectations.
No, it's a great question. I get it all. I get it all. The men that come in are usually dragged in by the women.
Oh wow! So it's like wives bringing in their men, their husbands. Wow.
Exactly. Like it's not really. I think men have different motivators for different aspects of life, but health is not one of them. Like they don't go to the doctor.
I disagree with that.
I didn't mean it as
No,
that,
I
but
worry
it's
about my
like-
health. I don't go to the doctor. You're right. But I do worry about my health, though. I just think I pray to
just
God
see-
everything's okay.
Yeah, but I just see a lot of women dragging their boyfriends and their husbands and being like, "No, you have to take care of yourself. You have to." I don't know. I think
That's
it's-
normal. No, my wife tells me the same thing. You got to go get checked up. I'm like, baby, I'm fine.
I think one of the best benefits and one of the reasons that I think we can work together after this podcast on a serious tip is keeping your blood sugar down. And I'm not diabetic, but some people go through life being diabetic, don't even know about it, or
Correct.
go to the doctor like homie.
Well, yeah, that's right.
And that's dangerous because diabetes is a silent killer, right? Like you don't think
Correct.
anything's wrong and then boom, everything stops. So for me, I would love to explore that aspect of it. And maybe you can elaborate a little bit more on the true benefits of like, okay, it is a weight loss thing and you're going to look better so you feel better. But if you do have high glucose, right? Or sugar,
Correct. Yes.
I think it's a huge benefit because diabetes does kill a lot of people. Can you elaborate a little
Yes,
bit?
absolutely. Okay.
That's where it originates from. That's what you told me, right?
So yes, but I think the best way to explain it is to illustrate, like using your imagination a little bit of how sugars operate, like as how we view sugar, right? So you think sugar is a little white powder in a box that you buy at the store. Actually, if you're eating various types of foods, that breaks it down into various different types of sugars in the blood. So when you're eating carbs, when you're eating starches, when you're eating your pastelitos, when you're eating your cookies, when you're eating any kind of bread, rice, pasta.
Cuban bread doesn't have sugar, though, right?
Oh no, definitely.
Okay.
Just kidding. It has plenty. Any of those carbs.
So like coladita and Cuban bread in the morning is?
Actually, coladita without sugar is perfect.
Okay.
Who drinks that, though?
Nobody drinks that. Does that sugar?
Of course it has sugar. Who's going to drink a colada without sugar? Are you kidding me?
So all of
I know
these,
sugar causes cancer, though.
I'm not the expert on that, but I know that it likes to eat
It's
sugar.
Yeah,
It
definitely-
wow.
accelerates
Put it in the
it.
system.
Yes, sugary foods can accelerate that.
And protein
no
is,
idea.
the cancer killer.
Yeah, I had no
Yeah.
idea. I wanted to ask you, go back to something now. So
Yeah.
you have women bringing their boyfriends and husbands
Yeah.
to you to lose weight.
Yeah.
How is their like reaction most of the time?
Are
Like,
they chunky or are they fit to bring somebody in? Because how do you're going to take advice from her who's fit or advice from me? You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that? Are they like women that are fit that want to get their husbands fit?
I don't see a lot of fit people.
You see,
in
so
my
it's like a
practice
gordita feeding, taking a
because-
gordita to one.
if a person is actually electing to go to a weight loss clinic or to be seen for weight loss, most likely they don't have
of course.
a weight, like they're gonna have a weight loss problem,
I know, but you said that the wives recommend the men, so it's like,
Yeah.
are they both chunky? Like we should go
Yeah.
at the same time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But how's the men's reaction? Like when they go there, are they like inclined to do it? Do they kind of buy into it after? What are you feeling from them?
Or is there something embarrassing about it?
I can only speak from my 15 years of observation. And the way that it typically works is in the beginning, the men are probably the most apprehensive. They don't want to be there or whatever. But then they start experiencing immediate results. And then they come on their own.
Wow.
They come on their own. And they wind up being wildly successful. And they don't even tell their girlfriends or any.
Then they start going to happy hour on their own.
No, they come on their own and they start losing weight. And no, they just.
They get excited.
What's unbelievable about, the chair that I sit in my work is that I have seen people come in a certain person and after about 6 months or a year, there's somebody else.
That's amazing.
There's someone else.
That's the
You
reward.
feel really proud about that, right?
It's secretly the most rewarding thing.
That's amazing. You're changing people's lives, literally.
They're doing it.
Yeah.
I'm there to help.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I wanted to go and ask you a question. This is probably gonna not like be good for everybody, but I want you to tell me how bad is a colada with sugar for your health?
I can't speak on that. Let's say, for example, you have some kind of a heart problem, then I probably wouldn't be recommending a colada with or without sugar. So it just depends.
How about if I drink at least like 2 to 3 coladas a day with like low sugar?
Such a liar.
I
swear to God, bro.
mean,
Low sugar.
definitely that's a cultural thing.
It is a cultural thing.
Yeah, you're immune to it. It's different.
Yeah.
We don't get jacked up like other people.
Yeah,
And-
I do it because when I grew up, My grandfather would make it in the morning, and he lived with us, and it would go through the vents. He would make it in the kitchen, would travel to the vents, and boom, and like at 6 a.m., I would smell it, and I'm like, wow, what is that? It smells good. And then as I got older, I started drinking it, and it is very hard for me to come off of it.
Listen, look at it this way. If you go to your doctor and you do blood work and everything's fine and you're drinking your 3 coladas.
Yeah, I did blood work like 2 weeks ago.
You gotta do the blood work or nothing in your system, right? I made the mistake the other day of doing a blood test after eating a fucking pastelito and drinking a café con leche.
No, you can't do that. You gotta go.
And it came out high. She said, man, your thing's really high. You should consider this and that. And that's when I kind of got a little worried. And obviously, I know I threw my test off, by that. But, like, it just scared me a little bit, when they said your sugar's
Yes,
high.
let's say...
That scares you.
Let's say you take 3 coladas, right? And you take your blood pressure or with a cuff and you see that it's not okay, then that's probably when you should reconsider what you're doing by the information that you're gathering. If your blood pressure is fine, then
You should retake it.
Interesting.
By what is it called? Fasting a little bit before the exam, right? Or before your test.
it depends whatever your doctor says. It depends whatever your doctor orders. If your doctor is ordering labs, on an empty stomach, then that's what you got to do.
I was going to ask you, out of your 15-year career, what is the person that you have helped lose the most weight? Like a testimonial from someone.
Yes. I have a few patients, I would say maybe 6 or 7, that I've done like kind of over the 100-pound mark.
Wow.
Yeah. But they have very specific personality traits that I have seen consistently, sort of not just with that group of people, but also in other areas of life. Like, so the personality trait that I have seen for the women that I have helped in this category are people that have both the motivation and the fear at the same time. They're very motivated to move forward, and they have the fear at the same time that's making them run away from something. Oftentimes, they have experienced some kind of an event, like a health scare, maybe like a heart attack.
That'll get you in place.
Or a stroke, and usually that's the moment where they're afraid, they're scared.
Wow.
They're scared.
Do you see, what are the reasons that you usually see that people are gaining a lot of weight? Like, what are the usual reasons that they tell you, like, listen, I got like this because of this reason, or I got like that because of that reason? Like,
it's not going to be a conventional answer. Relationships.
wow.
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that.
Yeah.
You could just get sedentary.
Relationships like with friends, romantic relationships, or family. So what winds up happening is that I deal with actually huge category of patients eat their emotions.
Wow.
So they realize that is just a way of trying to comfort that, trying to find a way to sort of to heal that just with food. And unfortunately, the foods that they're choosing are not helpful. So they wind up sort of eating their emotions. Sadly, and this is 100% I think the biggest reason.
For sure.
And they usually come to you like sad, like, listen, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like, I want to.
Yes, I hear it
change.
all the time. And the way to navigate that is to make it about them. It's not about, my boyfriend or my mom or my dad or,
Take responsibility.
It's, listen, this is something that you are doing for yourself. This is self-care. This is self-love. Forget about everybody else. And I try to shift the focus back on them. And that's how I begin.
The foods nowadays, I think, are a big problem.
Correct.
We see it a lot. I see now Kennedy, he's trying to make changes, and I've seen recently, I know it's election season, but I've seen recently that they started doing compare and contrast between the foods and the ingredients in Europe and Australia and here just like the same exact products have so much more ingredients and others. Elaborate a little bit on that if you can,
yes,
like why is that happening, and do you see that affecting the people as much as they say it is?
Absolutely. The thing is that take a look at our supermarkets. The majority of the supermarkets, if you're walking down the aisles and you're not walking down the walls, it's like all synthetic stuff full of chemicals, usually sugary carbs, very processed stuff. And what winds up happening is that sugar is not that different from any other drug. You can become very addicted to that. Mm-hmm. And so remember, and this is just a conspiracy theory if I were to get into it, but there's really not as much money in being healthy as there is in being sick.
Yep. There's also an issue. Healthy foods cost more than the cheap foods.
Yes, that's exactly what they want you to think. And that's the reason why you don't realize that it's cheaper in the long run.
It is cheaper than 100%. And you feel better.
Yeah.
What is it like, are foods at restaurants as bad as they say they are? You know, in the sense that like the chemicals or the oils that they use, etc. Because if I'm going on a diet, you know, and it's happened to me before, and I don't have time to cook, and I'm eating at a restaurant, even though I'm eating healthy at restaurants, it's still not as good as eating the food from home, no?
I mean, the Miami food scene is trying its best to improve on that. Like if you try some like vegan joints, like you're not going to get the seed oils if you ask. So even like culturally speaking, like I grew up, you know, my Latina mom cooking with canola oil. Like, no, you're not supposed to do it. Stay away from seed oils.
For real?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
you want to do like, tallow now, right? And,
it takes like all the sunflower oils, depending on which ones, the canola oils, all the seed oils. That takes the body like 6 or 7 years to get rid of. Imagine.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
You got to stick to, you know, extra virgin olive oil, avocado oil, coconut oil. Yeah, not the seed stuff.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So what happens is that when you go to a restaurant, you don't really know what ingredients that are being used. But remember, your body has become used to sort of that kind of food anyway, because you've been consuming it for so many years. And keep in mind that also we have extremely high increasing rates of colon cancer for younger and younger generation. Those numbers are going up and up and up. Why? Because of that.
Do you see like younger kids being more unfit? Do you see that in like younger generation?
100%. It's sad. It's unbelievably sad because you're passing something on, like, you know, whatever you're passing on at a dinner table, which is food and, you know, values. Those kids are picking it up at a very young age.
Yeah. And I also feel like when we were younger, I was always outside, man.
Yeah.
I was always outside. I feel like now the kids are on the phone and stuff like that, you know, just hanging out on the iPad, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm seeing more and more. Okay, when it comes to weight loss, let's just talk about the emotional aspect of it. You know, for the majority of people that gain weight for emotional reasons, I mean, it makes perfect sense. We don't get sunlight. We're not socializing enough. You know,
not sweating.
Yeah, we're not, you know, exercising. We're not eating the same kinds or qualities of food that we used to before. You know, we're broken homes. No one's sitting at a dinner table with our families any longer. Those numbers are going down. Sure. You know, there's not. I mean, you're sort of. It's like, it's sad. It's like almost every step you take, every turn you make in life, there's like some kind of argument or something against you.
For sure.
So you really have to make like an active sort of approach, a multidimensional approach in your own life to actively pursue the right relationships or the right exposure to the right social groups. Get some sunlight. Go get barefoot. Touch grass. Yeah. You know, like we're human beings.
Get connected.
Yeah. Stay connected. Also, stress. Stress causes a huge increase in cortisol, which stays trapped in our fat, making it harder to burn. So we're living in this high stress environment, connected to our phones. We're not humaning anymore. So all of these factors cause inflammation and weight gain.
Well, do you see a lot of like relationships falling apart because of people who gain weight?
Believe it or not, yes.
Hell yeah, dog.
Yeah, I see more relationships falling apart because of people losing weight.
Wow. Yeah. On the contrary.
They're moving on.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
It's sick. It's dark.
Talking about that, I'm a 320-pound man. Mm-hmm. I've lost maybe like 100 pounds in maybe a little bit over a year.
Amazing.
Due to some surgeries I had, stuff through that was not the right way, but I'll take it. For a man of my size, I'm 6'6". I probably want to lose. What do you think is a healthy weight for me first? And if I want to lose 50, 60 pounds, what do you recommend? How we start, or what's recommended for someone like me?
The best way I start with patients is asking them, what is your goal? Do you want to lose weight or do you want to lose fat? There's a difference between weight loss and then there's a difference between fat loss and weight loss. Like, what is the goal?
Explain a little bit on that because I'm confused as well.
Exactly. So the thing is that you can have, let's say I have a patient that's 6'5", 100% a brick body of just pure muscle. Their BMI is going to show that their BMI is going to show that they're overweight when they're not. They're just super muscular and strong. So you can't go by BMI. You have to go with the body fat. So
Okay, but what would you
typically-
how do we get started, and what kind of shot would you recommend?
So what I typically do is I try to first get the patient down to the 300 mark first. And first, if it's
Even if they're tall, I mean,
first it's about weight loss.
Yeah.
If it depends on the category of patient. So when I have the 300 plus club, it's not about fat loss at that point. It's about, listen, let's get your weight down as quickly as possible, and you have to take a different approach with that particular patient. And then once you get them down to the 200s, then I take a fat loss approach, because then it starts. I have a scale, and it measures the body fat and the muscle.
I'm never gonna weigh 200 pounds. I weigh 200 pounds at 6'3".
You'd be surprised.
You be surprised?
At 6'6", 200 pounds, you don't think I look super?
No, you look good.
You'd be surprised.
You look good at 200 pounds.
She's looking at me.
I should be like at 200, 205, or 190.
That's what I'm saying.
Again, I mean, one of the sort of like things about me is that I'm not a weight loss person. I'm a fat loss person. You need to be within the body wants to be in a healthy range, a certain range, and I need the fat and the muscle to be in a range that's healthy, regardless of the weight. Because you can weigh a lot, but you need to be healthy. So like I said, if I've got a bodybuilder that weighs a lot, that guy's perfectly healthy.
Yeah, he's just dense.
He's just dense, correct. And that's the difference between weight loss and fat loss.
So for me to drop 50 lbs, I think 200 is too light. I think 250, I'm okay. What do you think?
Yeah.
Ozempic to start off, because that's the introduction.
Yes, exactly.
And then at what time would I switch on to the other more aggressive one?
So it depends on the patient.
Depends, okay.
So it depends on the patient. Everybody creates tolerance for this drug. It's a natural drug, by the way. So
after a while, you do create a little bit like, hey, what's going on?
The tolerance builds quick.
You gotta get more.
Yeah, depending on what the patient is doing. If the patient is using the drug and the medication alone without any lifestyle change, you got to double it up like every 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep.
If the patient is actively doing a lifestyle change by having a high protein diet, you never have to double up that patient. They just keep losing weight. On it. They coast. Exactly.
Hold on a second. So I'm taking the shot and I'm working out. Am I getting?
No, working out.
No.
You don't work out.
No.
But don't you should?
You stop eating. You stop eating.
No.
You lowered like your consumption.
But you said to change your lifestyle, right? It would help.
Well, first food is what got us in this position to begin with, but food is how to get out of this position to end with. Mm-hmm. So it's just about reorganizing what you're already consuming. So if you increase the amount of protein that you have and at the same time decreasing your carbs, I do not promote going to the gym.
What about walking?
I mean, that's great. But the idea is to have the patient focus on the fact that what they're consuming is the most important part.
Take care of that first.
I mean, and the reason for it, this is 15 years of observation. I can't have girls or patients eat 3 cheeseburgers and go to the gym for 30 minutes thinking that they're going to burn it off. That it doesn't, like, that's I know you're laughing, but it's true. It's true. They think that they can eat whatever they want, have the this, have the that, and go to the gym, and they're little, cute. That's great. Beautiful. I love the pink. It doesn't work like that. It's about what you're consuming.
I love that.
Yeah,
it's about what you're consuming.
There's a lot of people who go get surgeries and go to the gym and then pretend that,
Correct.
The gym did everything.
And oddly, you have to eat a lot of food to lose weight.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? I got married last year in the summer, and I just wanted to lose like a little bit of belly fat. Mm-hmm. I work out every day, and I tried the Ozempic, and the Ozempic, I started with 0.5.
Mm-hmm. That's too strong.
0.05? 0.5, or half a 1. Mm-hmm. Whatever. And I didn't feel anything. I was like, okay. It was like a week in, right? I was like, normal. They asked me, are you feeling normal? And then they said, okay, let's increase the dose next week. And I increase the dose, and I have a morning routine that I wake up usually 5:30, go to the gym. I get a Colada on the way to the gym. I drink my Colada, I go to the gym, and then usually when I go to the gym, I go to the bathroom. It was one of the weirdest feelings in my life of drinking coffee, not being hungry, and not being able to go to the bathroom. It was just that like mix because it doesn't allow you to go to the bathroom.
Yes, exactly. Right? It does. Well, it does allow you to go to the bathroom.
When you first take it, don't you get like the shits or something?
No, we don't.
So, no, it delays your gastric emptying. So what does that mean? So when you have food in your stomach, normally it would take 4 to 5 minutes for it to go into the digestive tract. If you're taking the medication, it takes about an hour. Yeah. And it's supposed to slow it down. Yeah, it's supposed to slow it down. It's doing its job. So that way you're digesting more slowly and you're feeling hungry later.
Yeah, so that's what I was feeling. So I was feeling my stomach made like I was feeling like I wanted to go to the bathroom, like because I'm just like my body's so, but I couldn't. And then I went out a couple nights later and I was drinking with it, and it was just
you can't drink
so weird. It was just such an odd feeling. No buzz at all. You just feel like your stomach. It's just weird. It's very. I couldn't explain it, and I said, "Get me off this thing. I don't want to get this thing." And it takes 2 weeks to wean off.
You can't drink in the first injections.
It's a perfect example of lack of education when it comes to that.
Well, correct. He needed to have more guidance.
No. I had the right guidance. It was a friend of mine. I just didn't listen.
Oh, you didn't? Well, no. Okay, so if you're not, I mean, then yeah.
And I was like, you know what? I don't need this. I can lose this weight in a month if I really wanted to, so whatever. And which is what I ended up doing.
You have to listen to your medical professional. You have to listen because these are drugs that
my medical professional will know that most of the time I do not listen. So
if I want to lose 50 pounds, I start with you after we do all the analysis. I do everything correct. What's the time to get that?
50 pounds? 50 pounds, let's say 6 months.
6 months, yeah, 2 pounds a week, bro. That's healthy. But I don't know. I don't see you not eating cow bakery every morning though, bro.
Bro, it's working for sure. Am I gonna be a client?
That's up to you, really. The number one determinator for success for the patient is their drive, their willingness. Usually the most successful patients are like, I want this. I don't know what I'm doing. You're gonna walk me through this. I said, no problem.
Yeah, we're pretty much like that around here.
And they're very like, I'm ready. That readiness, that willingness, that eagerness those are the most successful ones. They're very scheduled.
Yeah, you're going to war.
They're
ready to
in
go.
it. They're in it. They're in it for themselves. They're like, no, tell me what to do. I'm going to do it. And they do it.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that are
so
like.
Biofit provides a plan of attack that if followed it to the T will get you the results.
In person, you have to come in and see me on a weekly basis. That's it. Weekly basis.
Because you also have the option of you send it to the house and then
correct.
they do it.
Absolutely. Yeah, because
they inject themselves in the stomach.
Yes, exactly. The same way a diabetic would. Exactly the same way.
I was going to ask you, do you ever get a lot of people who, obviously a lot of people smoke weed, who just like, hey, I can't get off the munchies, like I got big because of the munchies.
Yes, I get a lot of those.
But an old school weed head doesn't get munchies anymore, though. Like anybody that's been smoking weed for a while, that munchy shit is like high school shit.
I don't think so, bro. Like the purpose of weed gets you hungry.
So,
but it's a tolerance, like for even for other things. Like not everybody gets munchies. Some people will smoke sativa just to get that energy boost and be.
There's no. I listen. That thing says it gives you energy. It does not give you energy, bro.
So no, it doesn't.
It doesn't.
But aside from the anti-hunger, the hunger suppressive effects of the medication, it actually is also anti-craving. So.
Oh yeah, you're right. People come off drugs with that.
People can come off drugs with that, particularly alcohol. Like you just don't crave. So whether or not you're on edibles or whatever it is that you find yourself like gravitating towards, like sort of that addictive kind of like anxious feeling, it takes it away. It takes you just don't want.
But people have said, I mean, not people. It's been proven that when you're on these Ozempic and these type of drugs, your cravings for alcohol or for drugs, for whatever, any type of drug craving that you have, any addiction you have, goes away.
It's being repurposed now.
Yeah,
it also lowers your blood sugar, right? So that's
correct.
Big.
But
so
it's currently under clinical investigation. We don't know how they're going to do it yet, but they're going to redose this particular medication. They're figuring out. They're trying to figure out how to redose the medication or use this medication for drug addiction programs, particularly with alcohol, because it doesn't. It helps with cravings. Very, very strong. Very strong one.
All right. So what do you think, or what are your thoughts on the U.S. being named the most obese country in the world?
What I said earlier. It's a moneymaker.
It's a moneymaker.
Yeah.
American dogs.
Yeah. Consumption.
Yeah.
Like consume.
I mean, but that's just my opinion, really.
We chatted off camera before we started on how some people actually will go to you and want to have like directional weight loss, you said?
Correct.
Like body parts. And how silly is that? And how do you respond to them in an educated form and say, listen, that's not what we're about? Some girls like, you take this fat from here and put it in my butt. Or...
Well, I don't think it's that. I think it's like, if you have fat arms and you have a skinny waist, you want to lose the fat on the arms.
Yes, I say, listen, weight loss, with me is not area specific. You're going to be losing weight wherever your body decides to where it wants to lose weight most. Some people lose weight more quickly in their abs or in their arms or, wherever it is. But this is not an aesthetics program. If you want, if you want to spot treat something, I tell them, hey, you got to go, go to a doctor and go get lipo.
But why is that? Why is it that some people will gain weight in certain parts of their bodies over others? Do you understand that? Can you shed some light on that?
Genetics, and also stress. So again, back to the cortisol. Like, let's say, for example, you have somebody who's really, really stressed out due to some, I don't know, medical reason or maybe an allergy to a medication. You can develop like a kind of a lump in the back of your neck from cortisol. So you have like this kind of hump back and inflammation in the face. You can, it just depends on either reaction to medication, reaction to stress, or genetically where you're.
But sometimes you'll see people with like skinny arms and then just like a donut belly, skinny legs and skinny face and everything.
Yeah. Okay. So that, like, if you are looking at it from a male or female perspective, let's say men that are like that kind of have that, typically they're probably better off starting off with their primary care physician to test their hormone levels.
Okay.
You mean they have estrogen instead of testosterone?
You got it. Yes.
Are you talking about the guys with the girl butts?
Yes. There could be a hormonal imbalance.
How about people who they look their whole body skinny, but then they have thick arms, like just fatty arms?
Or the girls with the nice waist and then the big butt.
Maybe that's from a surgery. You don't know.
No, but you know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. Typically, that's like a BBL or an implant.
But some of them, I'm talking about like some of the girls. They just no matter what, they can't get their butt size down because it's genetics. Right?
If it's genetic, then it's genetic.
That's incredible.
It's not, it's every person is different.
I was gonna ask, are you like a gym person? Or are you like a gym? Like you gotta go to the gym or not really?
I am an active, very active person.
Very active.
Yeah.
Are there any top 3 like gyms in the city that you would like recommend people to go to that are good or?
I mean, I love that. The thing, okay, so my lifestyle is not the lifestyle that I would recommend for my patient.
Elaborate.
I want my patients to focus on what they're consuming first. It's a step-by-step process.
But we're not talking about your patient. I'm talking about you as a person.
I know, but I don't want to promote going.
No, but like just like us. I'm talking to you. I'm not your patient.
I try to stay as active as possible. And by doing so, like, I will take various different classes, like Pilates, or I'll go to the gym, or I'll do yoga. I'm very active.
Is that like with ClassPass that you use? Or?
ClassPass is great.
Phenomenal, yeah.
Or I'll hop on my bike and I'll just do a lot of miles on the boardwalk on South Beach until forever. And I do that all the time. Or I'll go to Shark Valley.
Shark Valley? I've never been to Shark Valley.
It's brutal. And you can do 20 miles
I've done 25 miles on the bike before, and I love it. You feel like you can kick through a wall after. Your legs feel...
I really like that. Or I'll do berries.
Berries I've never been to, and he follows us. Shout out to Berries. I was
When did you... how many times have you visited the Fountain of Youth?
Visited the...
Yes.
Once, actually.
Because you look like you're stuck in time.
Really?
Is that genetics or is that your work ethic? Because off camera you told me your age, which is like... not old, I'm not going to mention, but it's so much, like you look so much younger. Does that have to do with the way your lifestyle is and working out combined with the way you eat and everything?
It's genetics,
just naturally...
I think it's genetics. I think I just have a really good way of avoiding as much stress as I can. I think stress can
Does that include not having a relationship?
That is correct.
I'm water here, Eddie. We're talking about enough this. She got her on that one.
Yeah, I mean, no relationship. The idea is to not do anything that's going to break me down on the inside.
Yeah.
That's a great point.
It's like, so whatever it is that I choose to do, I'm going to gravitate towards things that are going to build me up, not break me down. And that can be like on any level,
So there's
like
no secret fountain.
Friendships, family, relationships,
Absolutely.
That's going to break me down. It's going to age me,
I think also too, like my wife, she supports me a lot. I go to the gym every morning. As much as like I would love to like stay in bed and hug her and cuddle and everything, I just know that for me to feel the energy and do all the things I need to do, I need to go to the gym.
Yeah.
I just don't feel the same person. I'm not the same person if I don't go.
Yeah.
I feel slow. My brain feels slow. My actions, my thought process. I don't feel assertive when I make decisions.
No one has ever felt bad walking out of a gym. Nobody.
Yeah. When I come in here and I don't go to the gym and people ask me questions, I have my staff and stuff around me, I'm like, okay, I'll let you know now. When I go to the gym, I come back, I'm like, yes, no, let's go, boom.
It clears your brain fog.
Yeah, man, dramatically.
I just wake up and piss excellence every day.
Yeah, that's good.
I don't really need to go to the gym. I just get up and do it. No, but I do want to change some of my ways. You know, I've been food producing since I was 19. My whole world has always been, you know, restaurants and chefs and la comelada.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, be losing some of the weight, 100 pounds in the last 2 years. I feel real good about it.
Great.
My clothes, like I went to go shopping and stuff, but
Yeah.
I need a little bit more push. And sometimes you get to like a plateau, right, where you were saying, well, you kind of need an extra push.
Yes, sure.
Something to get that going again. I think that's where I'm at now.
Yeah.
You don't look, funny enough, you don't look like a fat guy. You're just like a
very
big,
attractive,
you're just like a big human.
Yes, my mom always said that I'm not.
That's
gordo,
nice.
I'm grande.
Yeah.
No, but I want to do it. And she said it's a good point. You know,
Like,
your weight loss is not going to necessarily give you energy at first.
No.
You got to build towards that. So you know, I mean, and that's something that cleared up for me because I really wanted for more energy.
You really have to consider the side effects. The side effects are really going to be present for 1 and 2 patients, and then after about a week or 2 they tend to go away. So it's always going to be that beginning sort of phase that the patient has to push through in order to continue.
I think it'll be great for me because I ain't scared of nothing in this world. Maybe my ex-wife, but that's it. So yeah, she's nice. I'm just kidding. But I think it'd be perfect for me because I'm aware there are side effects, but I'm also aware that it does work done properly.
Right.
So you don't get that mass loss.
No.
Mass.
No.
Is it still like I just came from Colombia and my mother-in-law is like old school, you know, Hispanic. So for her, you have to eat 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
Yes.
big breakfast, big lunch, big dinner.
Absolutely.
God
yeah.
bless her.
Me, I only eat when I feel hungry. Is there something wrong with that or not? I've gone with you many times and I tell you I don't want to eat. I'm not hungry, and you force me to eat. He's like my mother-in-law.
The best way to answer that question is to be very extreme about my answer. You can eat 100 times a day or 20 times a day. It's not about how many times a day you eat. It's about what you're consuming.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. Okay, on that topic, do you want to ask her or I ask her?
I'm not gonna ask her anything mean. I like her.
The question that we do every day, every time. What are your top 3 restaurants in Miami?
She works out. She's
But I want to know. I want to know what her mind. I want to know.
Top
You can give me
3
like healthy spots or
restaurants.
This
good.
is the clickbait. This is what gets it going.
My kitchen, for sure. That's
Does
number
that count?
1.
No one's ever told us that.
Wait
Does
a
that
minute.
count?
What's your what's
Somebody
nationality?
made a comment
Yeah.
and they said, John Andrade,
Uh-huh.
the county, he goes, you guys should start from 3 to 2 to 1 to build up
Oh,
the, you know.
so do you want me to say?
Yeah,
3,
so
2,
number
1?
3, top 3 restaurants. No, your house doesn't count. Top 3 restaurants, starting from number 3.
Wait, I got to think about that.
Okay, go ahead, go for it. You have time.
What's your nationality, first of all, so that people know? Because that affects what kind of food you like too, right?
No, not at all. I mean, do you want the short answer or do you want?
We got time, man.
You got time?
Actually, I got a meeting at 12, but that's fine.
Okay, I tell people I'm Colombian. I'm not.
What?
I'm not. My mother is.
Oh, okay.
Well, you're Colombian American.
See, that's why I tell people that.
Yeah, because my
But
wife
I'm
told me
not.
the same thing. I'm Cuban. I told her I'm Cuban. She goes, no, you're not. Your family's Cuban.
I'm American. My parents are Cuban.
My parents, yeah. So I feel like I'm Cuban. I was raised in a Cuban household.
I'm not at all. I went to Colombia one time and I'm like,
Oh, I go like 3
this?
times, 4 times a year.
you're more
Miami
Colombian.
girl.
Yeah, I'm definitely more Colombian.
Miami girl.
No.
All right, so top 3 restaurants starting with number 3.
Oh God. Okay.
Face the mic, please.
Let's see. Okay, number 3. Prime Italian has the best steak.
I hear that's
Prime
phenomenal. I
Italian
haven't been, but I
has
hear
the
it's
best-
actually I
Not
went
Prime
years ago.
112, Prime Italian.
I went years
Not
ago.
Prime
It was good.
112.
Right next to Nikki
It's
Beach.
It's
right
the
next to
same
Nikki Beach.
owner, but it's just away from. I'm not a crowds person. I don't care about that.
You know, there's a story behind that. Supposedly, there was a restaurant, a steakhouse or something that was being done there right across the street to compete with Prime 112.
Mm-hmm.
The guy ended up buying it out and doing Prime Italian. So they didn't compete with him because he was trying to get the overage that people would wait in line outside.
I don't know.
so it's big
I'm not
Yeah.
with the scene or whatever, but that steak when they hit it on the
Yeah, go check it out.
nail,
We're gonna be at
So
South Beach
big
tonight.
steak,
so.
I love that.
that's
All right,
the best.
number 2,
Love Life Cafe,
Love Life Cafe.
Wait a minute. That's vegan.
vegan.
Vegan. That's the first vegan restaurant I've ever mentioned.
My friend used to be the chef there. I forgot his name right now. I'm embarrassed. He's a bald guy. I
I mean, it's a tie between Love Life Cafe and Planta Queen in Coconut Grove because both are
good.
vegan.
It's super expensive though. My daughter's gone there before after school. I'm like, hey, what did you just spend $80 on?
Again?
That's Grubman's place.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying. I'm just going. Lower the prices a little bit, please.
I mean, again, you're paying for good food.
You're paying for good food.
It's vegan.
My daughter loves that place.
All right.
She loves it.
I like vegan food. I just don't like vegan people.
I don't care about vegan food. I like vegan food.
You've never been attacked on social media by a vegan. Anyways, number one.
Your top restaurant cannot be your home. Your top restaurant that you go to.
It has to be my home.
No,
I cook better than everything.
Really throw down.
I can.
But not like healthy food, like real food.
No, real food. Yeah, I can.
What do you like to cook? Come on.
Steak, chicken, fish, especially fish.
Fish? Oh,
yes, especially.
I hate cooking fish, man.
I love it. No, it doesn't. If you know what you're doing.
What do you mean?
What kind of fish?
Branzino, salmon.
He has a company called the Fish Plug. He'll send you some free fish.
Mahi mahi.
He'll send you fish. You help him with Ozempic.
100%.
Hooking you guys up right now. See?
I think she's great.
The line has been created.
I think you are amazing, first of all. But I think the knowledge that you bring and the clarity, because so many people have these issues, weight loss and doing it the wrong way, or having crazy thoughts like some of the stuff that he's heard or mentioned. I think you bringing it to the table and explaining to that and being an example, because you are fit, I think is something that fucking I want to do.
She reminds me of Anna. Anna's the same way as her.
Yeah.
She used to be our host for a day in Miami. Super fit, works out, like super. She was out there counting grains of rice.
She
competes. She's just amazing. But she's cool.
No, I have a healthy lifestyle, but I don't compete or anything like that. Like I don't take it. It's enjoyable.
Biofit, your office, where is it located?
Miami Gardens.
And people with, I've noticed that people with healthy lifestyles and go to the gym are way more confident and aggressive. Like they're just go-getters.
Well, I'm going to bring this very odd example to the table. Look, our bodies are like 200,000 years old. This is from way back in the day when we were gathering berries and climbing mountains and hunting for, saber-toothed tigers and boars, or whatever, and like killing whatever, some crazy almost prehistoric creature. And here we are, like living in this day and age where our bodies haven't evolved to the times. So you really have to stay active, be outdoors, and think of it like we are just modernized cavemen, and we need to have that connection to physical activity. We got to go back to that. And every time you go back to your roots and go outdoors and get some sunlight, and you don't have to be crazy about it, but if you're active, which is what our bodies were built to be, you're going to feel better.
Yeah, I agree. I would disagree to a point though. I think our bodies have kind of like acclimated with the times. I just think it's more like in the head.
Well, that's because we have so much surge of crap in our brain that's, like being out of balance, like too much.
The human nowadays stores and has so much more information than even before, I think at one time we were very focused on what we needed. And now, like, we're so much more ample, like, from a macro perspective. Like, you have so much more information now that you know.
But when it comes to your health, you kind of got to dumb it down. It's true. So what worked?
Yeah, it is true. It is true. But I think in order for us, how funny it is, in order for us to survive and the race to survive, we need to get better up here. You get me? To reach, like what Elon Musk is doing, reach the stars and get out of here. And that day and age, our to survive was dependent on our physicality, Right. Now it's like we're evolving. I also feel that over time, 100, 200 years, our fingers are going to get longer because of touchscreens and stuff like that. Like you could see kids and stuff like that. Our vision's going to get different. It's going to be adapted to the world that we have right now.
Possibly, yes. But it is, I have a little bit of a disagreement with you in a sense, because I think we're being overstimulated by information, and that's like over bombarding our brains, just like we are over consuming the foods that we're eating and over consuming the information that we have. We have to get it out through exercise.
Well, you know what's going to happen?
Clear it all out.
They're going to have Neuralink, and your computer, your brain's going to be basically connected to the internet, and you're just going to be able to just like think of anything, anytime. It's not going to be anymore what because everyone's going to know the same thing. I think it's going to be the effort you put into stuff, I mean, I'm
aging myself here, but yeah, I saw Terminator.
Yeah. It's changing. The world is changing. The world is changing really fast. And well, Caro, it's really been a real pleasure.
Really nice.
Gardens, what's the address?
20731 Northwest 2nd Avenue, 33169. But the best way to contact me is by calling me.
And your IG is?
Biofit _weight loss. Okay.
I'm her new client. I'm signing.
But the best way to contact me is to call me first so we can decide whether I do online or in person. It's really patient specific. Yes.
Well, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You killed it. You did
All right.
great.